Father wound refers to the emotional wound, maybe small t or large T trauma that develops from the presence or lack thereof of the father during childhood, particularly. Negative experiences from that relationship can have lasting impacts for the rest of our lives. This wound can manifest as low self-esteem, trust issues, lack of self-worth, having difficulty with intimacy. It's really rooted in our solar plexus. The manipura chakra, which is also associated with the sun, is this dominant male energy that we all have within us as well. There are many other ways that father wound can manifest and result itself. It's really up to us to do the excavation in this lifetime to understand how it's impacting us and our relationships. Hey you, I'm Anissa. Welcome to Create to Liberate. Today's video is about healing the daddy wound, or at least understanding it. It's very thrown around having daddy issues, but a lot of folks don't understand how the father wound really impacts us. It shows up in so many ways, especially living under patriarchy. Most of us have some level of father wound and have this perpetuated. Explore the father wound in 4 parts. Really understanding it, unpacking it, healing to make healthier relationships. Fathers, biological or not, play a huge role in impacting people's sense of safety, self-esteem in their lives. Early childhood development is such an interesting thing to study because it impacts humans so deeply. It's always where they'll often begin in therapy. If you've been to therapy, and I highly recommend working with licensed professionals. I'm sharing from personal lived experience, as I believe we're all each other's mirrors. We provide a mirror to each other to be able to see ourselves more clearly, and hopefully empower each other. So this topic is definitely relevant to me. And if it resonates with you, amazing. Hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, and if you're listening on audio, a review is super welcome. Many folks had fathers who were absent, emotionally neglectful, maybe abusive, and had a lasting impact on your emotional or psychological well-being. Myself, along with many friends, have uncovered our father wounds over time. Maybe they weren't very pronounced to us because we did have the presence of a father to whatever extent, but then as you get older, you start to realize the way that it has not been the ideal relationship. Many of us are challenged with not ideal parents. I was definitely doing some excavation this weekend around the father wound within me. It's been 1.5 years that my father's been passing away, and it's given me a huge amount of time to just really reflect on that relationship, reflect on how this person did or did not show up for me, and really create some healing, because I know that that relationship had some harmful impacts in my life and ones that I paid attention to and talked about in therapy. But even still, with all that work, you can still have ways that it's impacting romantic relationship for me particularly, or impacting my ability to feel high self-worth and the need to prove myself, enoughness. So a lot of wounded masculine energy it shows up in. I had a weekend of just being like, I need to clear this. Can I clear it for good forever? Maybe not. Maybe we can never be completely healed and purified in this lifetime, but we can do a lot of work to get ourselves towards a fuller, more expressed, more whole, more loving, highest version of self always. And it's not about being perfect. It's really about just understanding what's going on internally with you and sending more love and compassion to yourself. I finished this book, which I recommend. It's definitely helpful to understand what your relationship with your father was if it wasn't a super healthy one. And let's focus now on how father wounds show up in our relationships. A lot of the reason there's the excavation of father wound is because the daddy issues things is attached to the ways that women build relationship, often with men who aren't healthy for them. So this is a bit of a heteronormative thing, but it doesn't have to do with heterosexuality. It's actually a wounded attachment pattern that develops, whether it's codependency or anxious attachment. That's often the impact of just having a parent in our life that played the masculine energy of being protector, provider for us, but didn't do that. So there's a lack of boundaries, there's a lack of internal structures that we have to cultivate for ourselves, and you can cultivate for yourself. You're deeply empowered in this lifetime to develop that sense of, these are my boundaries, this is my container, I'm safe, I'm protected, and develop and double down on the masculine energy within ourselves. The underworkings of the ways that father wounding shows up can be very subconscious or unconscious, so we're not always going to be conscious of the ways that it's showing up and impacting people in our lives. But if you get to an older, wiser state, then you can look back and you can notice patterning and take ownership over what's not working and start to try to analyze why. Psychoanalyzing ourselves is super helpful, whether it's through journaling, morning pages and writing, speaking to a therapist, speaking to friends. There's so much value in us doing more self-inquiry in this lifetime. The father wound shows up also with this low self-esteem, this manipura chakra, your solar plexus chakra. This is one of personal power, will, your sense of confidence. That one is a huge one that gives us a sense of energy and purpose. So a lot of the folks who have this powerful energy to take action in this lifetime have very strong manipura chakra. It can be strong in a wounded way or it can be strong in a healthy way. So I have my innate soul has very strong yellow and green, and then also huge purple. So that relates to my chakras. So that yellow is actually very beautiful because it means that I'm meant to be a creator in this lifetime. You're meant to be a creator in this lifetime. We're all meant to create things, but I get a big sense of satisfaction from putting things out into the material world. I love the spiritual domain, but the material world really matters for me to feel a sense of importance, to be needed by people, to support people. That's also the reason I have this YouTube channel. But if I create this YouTube channel, for instance, from a place of, I gotta get followers, I gotta get my numbers up, because if I don't, then it's worthless. And what's the point of continuing? And if you're dragging yourself through a journey and evaluating your worth based on the need for additional external validation versus actually creating from a place of love, saying, I want to be supportive to people. How can I share things that are going to heal people? How can I also heal myself through the process of self-expression? I feel more excited and enthusiastic about life after creating these videos. Then how much momentum could you imagine this has versus this is like a struggle bus? And that's, I use myself as an example, but that's the pathway towards creation at all times. All the things that you want to create in the world, you can do them without beating yourself down, without being hard on yourself, critical with yourself, with having really healthy discipline, having good boundaries. Cultivating that masculine energy within ourselves internally is so powerful in the world, and it's so needed of so many of us to create things from a place of desire, love, peace within ourselves, rather than force, frustration, competitiveness, heaviness. There's enough of that exists within our capitalistic world. We don't need more of that. And so it's really beautiful to still be able to be hugely productive and channel and express the dreams and materialize the things you want to experience in this world, but do it from a healthy place. So whether it comes to work, relationships, managing money, a lot of the father wounding tends to arise. It has to do with the material plane. It has to do with doing energy. And then it also has to do with relationships with masculine partners, whether you're female, male, however you like to identify. It's about masculine energy relationship. And if we have healthy masculine energy within ourselves, then we're actually attracting in other healthy masculine energies. If we had wounded masculine energy within ourselves, then we'll attract in other wounded masculine energy partners. So important to be aware of that. And I've shared many videos on feminine energy, and you can check those out. But when it comes to our masculine energy, father wounding is worth tuning into if it's a reoccurring pattern of overexerting on an unhealthy masculine energy type way. So when it comes to healing wounded masculine energy or healing the father wound, begin with acknowledging and accepting the history there, really doing a life revisioning. You can do this written down. You can do this with therapy. Find a way that feels deeply supportive to you. Everybody is so unique. I tend to process in solitude, and I don't recommend that for everyone. I think some folks need to process in community. Some folks need to process somatically more through their body. It's really about you tuning into the best way for you, but during your life revisioning, really exploring, what did your childhood really look like? How did it feel? What was your relationship with your father? What was your relationship with men or masculine energy figures in your life? What were paternal relationships that you looked around and saw? Were there any that emulated something that you desired more? Start to do a review as you go through each age you were, different chapters and seasons of life, and whatever arose for you that were like pronounced moments of pain or trauma, etc. And that's where doing this with support matters a lot. One of my favorite practices is just really self-reflecting, going internally and reviewing within my mind memories, things that come up, and then writing, releasing, and allowing it to be a private practice has really been so supportive for me to be unfiltered. And then on an energetic level, healing comes with tuning into manipura chakra. So I have some guided meditations here that are more focused on building that sense of worthiness and grounding. And those are really great meditations to check out. It's really important to tune into our solar plexus. So you can look at different asanas in yoga that support that, back bending, etc. Tuning into the color yellow, whether it's through what you eat, your surroundings, flowers. Bringing in that element can really be empowering. Spending more time with the sun, sending gratitude for the sun, asking of the energetic world, any ascended masters that you deeply connect with, for guidance and really supporting a clearing here. Do things in your life that make you feel confident. Remove people in your life that put you down. Make sure that you're curating your environment to really feel like you can set boundaries, you can trust your voice, you can speak your needs, that you feel powerful. And how can you surround yourself more with that feeling so that you can carry that feeling anywhere that you go? And contain that steadiness, that peace and power within you, because you're a peaceful, powerful human being, despite the systems of control that try to continually disempower us. Developing healthy connections. Super important to surround ourselves in a container of healthy connections with friends, with family, in environments that make us feel good and supported. Choosing careers that make us feel nurtured back, where we can give and we can receive on a soul level, not just monetarily. When it comes to loving, really belief in self, in possibility, to not outsource your power to others. Know that you're innately powerful within yourself. And if you're working with more wounded masculine energy within you, there's more of a likelihood to want to be chosen, to want to chase, to want to abandon self, but maintaining the steadiness and choosing self and choosing things that align with self. And there's so many amazing people, experiences, places, friendships that connect with who you are authentically without you having to move, bend, contort yourself for anything or anyone. And start operating in different, healthier ways. We can do all of these things and we can be in a place of healing perpetually. And then there's beginning again as this new empowered version of you, and start acting in alignment with that version of you and start living in it before you feel ready. Step into healthier relationships before you feel ready. It's okay to let go and release what's not serving you, supporting you. Know that that's making space for new community that's supportive and healthy and good for your well-being. When it comes to romantic relationships and love, belief in abundance, belief in your wholeness and worthiness and empowered state as you are, that you can stand in that and attract in healthy partnership. You're so worthy and deserving of deep love, despite the neglectful, absent, or possibly abusive relationship that you had with your father. I have so much love for my dad, especially. I've seen him more this year than I ever have seen him in my adult life. Sending all who are dealing with the transitioning love. I'm in a tender place as I share this, but I hope that it's empowered you. And if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe on YouTube. If you're listening on audio or review, 5 stars, thank you. And I'm sending you so much love in the days ahead. Appreciate you being here.